Welcome to the Tiffany Mika podcast. What we do here is build the strength and courage in you to accomplish your big dreams and goals in your sport. No longer will you feel limited. You won't feel you're not good enough. You won't question whether you will make it. Those doubts will disappear because you will have the competitive edge over your opponents and leave them in your wake. And the bonus is others will notice. Listen up and take notes because I will show you exactly how to do it. Hey there, this is Tiff from the Tiffany Mika podcast and welcome to today's episode. Well, exciting for me, may not be as exciting for you, but I've actually just purchased a new microphone. So I'm hoping that the sound will come through so much better for you as well. I want to ensure that the experience of listening to these episodes are good for you and we don't get so much background noise and so on. So I'm working to ensure that these episodes sound so much better for you. Anyway, so on to today's episode, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on our T code, and I actually call this the T code, as in the TIFF code. And really, it's your code for success. Now, you can call it whatever you want to call it. I say the TIFF code or the T code is because that's my name, Tiff. So if your name's Evelyn, it could be the E code, or if it's Lillian, it could be the L code, or if it's River, it could be the R code. Whatever your name is, you could do that, or you can call it the TIFF code. It's up to you how you want to approach this. But I want you to get the message across to you that this is a code in which you live by, and it's the mindset in which you live by. And this helps you focus on striving forward and showing up each day with the intention to live by your code. And this code is the code that will be actually showing up every day and displaying it in everything that you do. And this is what I do. I have this code that I listen to every single day because it's how I want to show up every day in the world. And I want it to reflect in every way in which I operate. Doesn't matter whether it's in a business, as in sport, in teaching, in performing in sport, in relationships with my husband and family. It's what I expect from me. And the message I want to get across to you today is when you embody your T code, you're going to live by it every day. Like I just said, I use this as my everyday mode of operation of what I expect, how I want to show up in the world every day, because you know what? You have expectations, you have standards that you want, and you have expectations that you want from yourself. And you know what? You must expect these each day, because all you can do each day, every day that you wake up, is all you can do is just give the best effort that you can in that day. That's really what it is, just giving the best effort of you in what you can do every day. So we want to make sure that happens for you, the best that you can do, because you know what? Sometimes it's all going to come together and you get, wow, this is so amazing. I'm so excited about this. Everything's flowing so easy. Everything just seems so easy. And then other times it's going to be really tough. You're going to have these really tough challenges. And you know what? You're wondering if you'll ever get through it. And I actually call this character building. And because if you keep focusing on working through the tough stuff and prove to yourself and prove to the universe that you do want it when it gets tough, you're going to do the hard yards and the really tough stuff. Then the pain and the frustration and the tears that you're going to experience is all going to be worth it, because you're proving to yourself that you can do this. And I'll tell you, it's incredibly frustrating, right? It's incredibly painful. It's tear-jerking. It brings everything out of you. And you know what? You are proving to yourself that when there is pressure, and you always get pressure in sport, that you can handle it. You are proving to yourself that when it's tough, you can do this. You are proving to yourself, no matter how challenging it is, you can do this. You're proving to yourself, no matter what obstacles are thrown in your way, you can do this. Everyone these days are expecting quick results. They're all expecting that it should all happen really, really quickly. And what actually hasn't changed is the fact that if you really want that it's focused, then you got to do the work. And I teach so many golfers, especially over 60-year-old ladies at the moment, like with the golf, because that's where golf is. Majority of people are older that play golf because they got the time to do so. And it's quite interesting because I get so many golfers that want to be able to learn and do everything in 6 weeks, maybe even 6 months. And they're like, I just don't know if this is for me. And you know what? It's damn hard. Because golf is such a difficult sport. It tests you from all angles. It tests you technically. It tests you mentally. It tests you for pressure. It tests you for the performance on the course. It tests you with how you're going to deal with your emotions. It tests you with how you're going to deal with others around you. It's so much. There's so much more in that. And it's the most precise game that I have ever played in my entire life. And you know what it does? Along with any other sport, it exposes your vulnerabilities. And that's what happens when you take up a sport. It exposes your vulnerabilities. It exposes the areas in which, guess what? Weak areas. And that's what vulnerabilities are. Vulnerabilities is really your weak areas. And what most golfers do that I teach, they don't understand that they have to actually learn how to deal with all of this. They have to learn how to deal with the emotions. They have to learn how to do the technique correctly. They have to learn how to manage their mental side. They're going to have to learn how to manage themselves out on the golf course. There's so much. And this is the same in your sport. There's so much. This goes for you, right? This is for you. I want you to get that in your mind, that what I'm sharing with you is this goes for you too. Just because I'm talking about golf and you don't play golf, it doesn't mean that it doesn't apply to you. This is for sport. This is for life. And you need to know how to deal with it. You need to know how to deal with the pressures. You need to know how to deal with the vulnerabilities that are going to come up for you. And if you don't, you've lost. And the harsh reality, it's a harsh reality, but it's true. And I remember my early days of junior tennis and especially early adulthood when I didn't have the TIF code and I was constantly challenged emotionally and mentally. I wasn't equipped on how to deal with anything that was thrown my way. And my reality was it exposed my vulnerabilities. And guess what? If you've heard my story about my tennis career or lack thereof, even though that's what I wanted to do for my sport, I actually gave up, and I gave up on me. So how are we going to do it? How are we not going to let you give up on you? How do you keep going when you don't think you will make it? And what I'm going to share with you today is for you to set up your TIF code or your T code. And I'm going to read mine out to you because you can use it if you want to, or you can develop your own. Once I've actually read out the T code for you, then I'll explain each one as well. Okay, so this is the T code. I believe in me because the world needs me at my best. I love what discipline does for me. I am a master of my craft. I am courageous. I am highly tuned in and can focus at any moment. I am confident and in complete control. I show respect for my craft and those around me. I am thoroughly strategic. I embrace losing as it just means feedback. I recognize that winning is feedback and shapes my success code. Now that's something really simple, isn't it? All I've done is I've put together a code in which I want to live by every day, what I expect from myself every day. And I wish I knew all this stuff when I was competing. My God, what a difference it would have made. But it can make a difference to you, because what I'm sharing with you is what all the mistakes that I learnt, right? All the errors, all the failures that I had, I learnt them all. So now that I can share them with you and show you the way to the path to where you want to go. So I'm just going to break the T code down for you. So I just read out, you could think of them as affirmations if you wanted to, however you want to pose it, but I'll read out each part of the T code and what it actually means. So I believe in me because the world needs me at my best. So what that means is that I show up and give the best effort of me every single day. I have complete faith in my abilities, and I accept and I set the example of excellence. Next one, I love what discipline means for me. That means that I am focused and I am on task. It shows that I am committed to excellence. It shows that I do the work, I show up, no matter how tough the challenge is. I am a master of my craft. What that means is that I'm dedicated to mastering my craft. I'll do what it takes to master what I do. I set the standard of excellence and raise the bar around my peers. I am passionate about my craft. I live it, love it, and I breathe it. I am courageous. What this means is that I step into the arena and put myself in situations of discomfort. I understand that to reach the pinnacle, I must be uncomfortable and feel awkward. I embrace pressure and thrive under the demand of performing beyond my perceived capabilities. Right, you push yourself. I am highly tuned in and can focus at any moment. So what this means is that I can zero in and perform the skills at any moment. I'm never distracted. I can concentrate on what needs to be done, no matter how intense the pressure is. And I'm graceful under pressure, and I make it look easy. Next one. I am confident and in complete control. And what this means is that I'm in control of my emotions. I trust and believe my capabilities. I am unlimited in belief and can take on any challenge. And when confronted with an obstacle, I can strategically work through the barrier without losing control. Next one, I show respect for my craft and those around me. So what this means is that I have an appreciation for my craft and understand the work that is involved to master it. I respect myself and my values. I have a high opinion of my coaches and my team and a huge admiration for my values. I honor the support that I am given from friends and family, and I am grateful for the opportunity to pursue my craft. I am thoroughly strategic. So what this means is that I craft my master plan for excellence. I construct my daily game plan with precision, and I anticipate the hurdles and take deliberate measures to overcome them. I embrace losing as it just means feedback. And what this means is that I understand that losing is all part of the process. I comprehend that losing provides invaluable teachings. I grasp the losses, evaluate where the obstacles are, and then I craft new plans to overcome them in the future. And I recognize that winning is feedback and shapes my success code. And what this means is that I reflect on the wins and continually work on gaining the edge over my opponents. I develop my system for winning from crafting my plans to training, pre-game preparation to execute my success formula during competition. Whew, that's pretty intense, isn't it? And so what does that all mean, really? Why do we do that? Well, what we're doing is we're building that belief, aren't we? And how we're doing that is by we're repeating that. But we need to repeat that not just the once, right? We don't want to just write it out and go, okay, that's done. Thanks, Tiff. I've got my T code in place, my Tiff code. What it really means is that now you got to do the work. So it's all well and good to put it out there, but then you've got to work on it. So how can you do that? There's a couple of ways that you can do that. Now, what I initially did was when I first put this together was that I just read it out every day. And but I was finding, because I have a lot of information that I like to read to reinforce where I want my mindset to be, and it would take me about 20 minutes to repeat on a daily basis. It's not just this. There's a whole other series of things that I repeat. But this is just one of them, and that's why we're starting with something simple for you. But what's a really good way to do that? And it'd only take you probably 5 minutes to read it out, if that. But if you didn't want to do that, you could record it with your own voice, and maybe you listen to it each day. And that's a really good way of doing it as well, because that's what I do. Is when I have, like I said, I have like a 20-minute sort of vision of what I want from me. But this, so what I do is I actually recorded it, so I can just listen to it every day. So I can listen to it if I'm working out. I can listen to it when I'm preparing my day. I can listen to it when I'm driving in the car. And the great thing about that is that I don't have to be completely 100% focused on it. I can allow my subconscious to take it in, because our subconscious is way more powerful than our conscious brain. So we want to ensure that we're putting ourselves in a position that we can do that. You could listen to it at night as well. And it's like the biology of belief. If you haven't heard of that or read the book by Dr. Bruce Lipton, he wrote The Biology of Belief, and there's a lot of great information on YouTube, and he shares a lot of information on that. It's really, really good. But what we're really doing here is we're developing that belief. We keep feeding our mind. We're feeding our mind with what we want from ourselves, what we expect from ourselves. And we keep feeding our mind through that repetition, that daily repetition, just like your sport, isn't it? Just like the skills. It's that daily repetition that you've got to do. And if you're an athlete, you get that, don't you? That daily repetition, the constant repeating of skills over and over and over again, because you want to master that craft. So you want to embody this T code deep into your soul. If you don't like what mine is, create your own. But you want to make something that's your own so that you own it, right? It's yours, and it's helping you go in the direction where you want to go. So I hope you really enjoyed today's episode on developing your T code. And what I'd love you to do is, wherever you hear this episode, I'd really appreciate if you could share with me what your T code is, or what you've decided to call it. And I would really love to hear from you and see what your code is, of what you expect yourself to operate. Also, some exciting news that I want to share with you coming very, very soon. Sometime next month. I'll give you the official date when I've got it set. But my new book, Focus: How to Reach Your Potential in Sport, Business and Life, it will be released very, very soon. I'll give you the exact date of when it's being released. So I want you to make sure that keep your eye out and ear out for this one, for when it will be released, because I'm really excited to share this with you, because this is really going to help you go in the direction where you want to go. I've built the foundations there. It's a blueprint to help you really achieve what it is that you want to achieve in your life. So I hope you really enjoy that book. I've put my heart and soul into it, and I want you to get the most out of it that you can get out of it, and really striving towards achieving your big dreams and goals in your life. So I really look forward to sharing that with you, and I'll give you the exact date when I'm releasing it over the next week or so. I'll have a definite date for you. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'd really appreciate if you could share with me what you like best about what you heard today. You know what? Just get out there and do the T code. And I want you to dream big, believe in yourselves, and go after your dreams. Have an absolutely awesome day. Take care. Talk soon. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you haven't yet downloaded the #1 deadly mistake athletes make sure you go to tiffany-mika.com and download the #1 deadly mistake athletes make. Share with me what you like best about what you heard in the comments section wherever you hear this episode. Share with your friends that you know that would benefit from these episodes, and please leave a 5-star review wherever you hear these episodes. I would really appreciate it. Dream big, believe in you, go after your dreams. Have an absolutely awesome day.